Hey everybody, it's Backseat Driver 5280. Welcome to the live stream. Looks like there are already some people in the chat. A couple of tailgaters, in fact. It's pretty cool to feel that, to see that. So I just want to start off with a little bit of that humor. Thank you to, I believe it was 603 Piper on TikTok, whoever that is. I don't know. I found it online. But without further ado, I'm going to bring in the guest host for tonight, starting with Los.
What's up, everybody?
Here's John.
Heyo.
Avi.
Whoa. What's up, guys?
Oh, damn it. I didn't have a drink in my hand.
I know. I was like caught mid drink. I thought, okay, hey, how's it going?
I got a non-alcoholic crazy drink in my hand, but
Nothing wrong with that.
I had something.
So, everybody, again, welcome. Basically, the idea I had behind this was to, one, talk to people and talk to each other about how we are changing things up a little bit, dealing with this whole COVID-19 shutdown situation. And then maybe trying to offer some ideas to other people. I've got kind of a list of things that people might be able to do to distract themselves. But real quick, I want to shout out people in the chat. Mortal Biggie Shack was the first tailgater. Big O FGCU 42. Hello, welcome. We've got obviously John Los and Comic Books NYC. Mark Knapp 68, Southern Comic Geek. Thank you guys for joining us.
Guys?
Hope you enjoy it. So I don't know if anyone else wants to start with some things, talking about like Los, if you want to talk about how you've had to already change some things up, or if you guys want me to kick it off.
No, don't matter to me if you want. I'm good with that. Pretty much, I mean, obviously you can see background's a little different. I am on my laptop today. My wife commandeered the house computer, which usually has my setup in the back. And again, it's all due to her working from home from this whole kind of like ordeal that's happening. And, you know, you have to make some changes. So, I mean, hopefully, I mean, this kind of goes by and it's not permanent and things go back to normal. But, you know, for the time being, you know, you got to do what you got to do. So, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, you just try to stay safe and, you know, be smart about it and try to keep a clear head, because people tend to lose their minds in situations like this. So, you know, that's all you can do. Is try to keep a level head and try to think smart and be safe, and I think it'll work out. But you know, you got to make some changes, you know, when things happen like this.
Absolutely. John, you want to go next?
I mean, I'm definitely going to come from the place of like kids. You know, I had a live stream with pretty much my entire class today for about an hour. Basically, you know, helping answer questions for stuff, putting online activities for them to do, and then trying to entertain my two girls simultaneously and make sure they're getting stuff done. And so I feel like the entertainment director on a cruise ship or something. It's just like constant surprise distraction. So for me, it's just a lot of the like dad teacher stuff and not being bored and keeping yourself moving around. Kate and I she rode her bike and I ran right next to her on this little, you know, dirt road where it was like nobody, but it was just us. And it was like, you know, we kept our distance, didn't come in contact with anybody, social distancing and all. But it was just, you know, we had to get out, like screen time and sitting in this spot basically all day is not good.
Yeah. Hey, John, question for you. Are you in the area that's like locked down? Is it or like all of California?
No, it's not like that at all. No, it's been
okay.
I think my county, which is really big, Orange County is pretty big, I think it was yesterday, had only 22 confirmed cases. Like it's pretty low overall.
Yeah.
And so they haven't really done anything mandatory yet. It's all been personally imposed kind of stuff. People just, you know, business, you know, because I work in education, schools made a decision early. Like we're just not having it.
Which is smart.
Yeah. I mean, they're the carriers. Those little guys are the carriers.
Exactly.
So yeah, Yeah, so it was more like my industry forced the action, and so we've been home all week. I went home. I gave my students all their materials on Friday, like the books we're reading, the math books we're doing. I just gave them everything and had them take it home, and then spent the weekend planning lessons for this week. And then they moved our staff development days to Monday and Tuesday, so actually we didn't even start lessons till yesterday. And then it's just been entertaining the girls and making sure they're not going stir crazy. If it was summer, I'd be set. Like, get in the pool, swim, do 15 laps. But right now, it's like, you're gonna die.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I know we just had here in Mass. I think we're closing in on like 250 confirmed cases or something like that. So
because we're so far from like a big city, LA, San Diego, whatever. I think we're still pretty much in the minority on that, and we have a large elderly population, and I think they're getting all the good priority like they should be. So.
How about you, Kavi, up in New York City? I know I've got one other friend who's basically locked in her apartment.
Yeah, I mean, today is my 7th day. I wouldn't say locked in my apartment, but it's the 7th day in a row where my life has really been restricted to both inside my place and like the 2-block radius sort of around my place, which is, which for a lot of people in the country, that would sound like, like absolute hell or torture or whatever. But like, because I live in New York City, Brooklyn, in like, a fairly, active area of town, in my 2 to 3 block radius, I have my bank, I have my coffee shop, where I get muffins and coffee and whatnot. I have a Chipotle, I have a Subway restaurant, I have 3 pizza places, a Middle Eastern like shawarma place, a Indian food place, 2 Thai restaurants, a Irish pub, which they're no longer serving. You can't go inside and hang out or whatever. But like 3 bodegas, like 2 like kind of yuppie grocers, like small grocers, like not big chain, pushing carts against people. I don't have to deal with that. So from that perspective, it doesn't feel like apocalypse now or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still like living or whatever, but like I am working from home, which is, which I've done before, but I've always had the ability to sort of be flexible. Now I don't have the ability to be flexible, and I'm just like the whole day is like blending into like the work part of the day versus the non-work part of the day is really just one long work day now. And I don't feel like I get to actually leave work. Right. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. I mean, New York City is approaching 4,000 cases just in New York City, which is, sounds alarming, but we have 9 million people. Right. So from like a percentage standpoint, it's not high, but fairly small. Probably less than 1% of those 9 million people have been tested at this point. Exactly. Which is, so it just kind of is what it is. So you would expect that number to just keep going up and up and up. It is a little bit lonely because, I don't have anybody to like quarantine with, right? Or whatever. So like these kind of things, doing live streams and whatnot, definitely helps. I'm gonna go to a animal shelter tomorrow and possibly rescue an animal, a dog, to because I think now is going to be a time where people are going to be afraid to do things like that, and you'll have a lot of like animals being essentially killed in shelters next several weeks, months. Yeah. So that's been sort of weighing on my brain. That's something I've wanted to do anyway, but looking at this situation moving forward, it's like, okay, I better take action on that.
And your place allows pets, so then you're set.
Yeah, but we're not at shelter in place or whatever just yet. Right. The New York City mayor, Bill de Blasio, he wants to do that. He wants to move forward with that. The New York State governor, Cuomo, does not want to do that, and he's like, "That's never going to happen." I need I need to clear. I need to give the go ahead for that. And even if that were to happen, that still allows for you to go walk on the street for various exceptions, like to provide, basic necessities for you or your family, to get healthcare, to walk your pet, to
go to the grocery store,
let your pet do their business. Yeah, exactly. Go, food, whatever. So, it's not going to be quite like, what movies make it out to be. Even if that happens.
TJ Watson said, I'm worried about John the most. He's so old.
And what's funny? What is funny is I think I'm only 2 years younger than you, John. I think I'm only 2 years. I'm only 2 years younger.
I know. That's just because I'm a boomer. That's
so I'm not going to get into all the details on this stream or anything, but like I have certain like I fall into that bucket of where I'm not, I'm a younger guy, but I have immuno whatever, like I'm immuno deficient. Yeah, like I'll easily get sick on just regular colds and things like that. I've been getting over a cold for like more than a month. John witnessed it.
I think I probably got it because my
probably got it
a week later. You got to stop making out when we meet.
Right, there you go. So I do have that little bit of paranoia kind of in the back of my mind. I had like a 99-degree fever, like literally like just barely what qualifies as a fever like a few days ago, and I got very paranoid about it. It went away, and it never got higher than that. So, for now, I'm kind of just being careful, washing my hands a lot, taking precaution or whatever. I'm not walking around the streets with a mask, but I'm also not, increasing my exposure outside. Like I'm getting done what I need to get done, then I'm coming back inside.
And then exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of misconception with the mask too. I mean, it's not you don't put the mask on to prevent you from getting sick. It's if you are sick, prevent other people to get it, so you block it that way. And people just panic and just like, oh, I'm just gonna wear it, and it's like, it's not really going to do anything if you're not sick. Like, more than likely, it's going to give you the virus if you put it on and you're not sick. So I'm like, don't wear it. You'll be fine. Just avoid kind of certain things. But yeah, again, in certain situations, people, just they panic and, you lose your mind and you're not thinking clearly. And it's like, all right, take a step back, relax, do what you need to do the things that you're supposed to do anyway. Wash your hands, make sure you have, good hygiene and you'll be fine. If you feel like you coming on with a cold, stay home. That's it. Just stay home.
Which is notoriously been a thing that Americans don't do. We always go to work when we're a little under the weather. I was talking to Hydra Collectibles. His name is Luke, and he lives in London. And he was talking about a system that is being proposed over there. And I don't know if it's going to go through or if it's going to happen, but they basically were trying to break citizens into 3 categories. And it was a category A were people that were immunodeficient, elderly, or pregnant or newborns, that the high risk category. B were the caretakers for category A. So those people that were working with and in close proximity to those in greater danger. And then C were the large majority of the masses, right? And they were trying to make sure that category C were as normalized as possible and going through the stages of getting this virus and getting over it. And that basically they wanted those category C people to be out in the world and to do things. And they wanted A and B to completely shelter and hunker down, and A and B ride it out. So that once the C group population shrunk to where they weren't getting this or they weren't being exposed anymore or they were over it, then there would be supplies and things ready for the other 2 categories.
Yeah, I've got a.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth trying. It's worth trying something. You know what I mean? Not just staying back and just be like, whatever. Well, it'll be fine. It'll go away on its own. It's like, will it?
Yeah, a lot of people don't get that the like you said, the masks are to prevent spreading it, not prevent getting it, because it's spread when people that have it cough or sneeze or whatever it is, and it gets on your skin and then you touch your face or whatever without washing your hands. It's not like you're going to inhale the virus and get it that way. It's not how it works.
Exactly.
and a lot of people are freaking out because it's also allergy season, so they can't necessarily tell the difference.
Yep.
But
yeah, I'm definitely affected by allergy season quite a bit.
One of the big things, though, I know is that it's when it gets into your lungs and it starts messing with that tissue, that is what this virus really. That's when it really gets at you.
Yeah, it's real bad with anybody who has like any kind of respiratory problems. It'll really affect you pretty hard.
And on the mask thing, I've got a friend who she's a nurse in a hospital nearby, and she was saying that they're actually starting to run low on masks because people are just taking the masks out of the hospital, and it's causing issues there, which not a good situation.
Yeah, I know. Again, like I said, things happen like this, and people panic and lose their mind. And
the hoarding thing is just like that's like a human psychology like study, like that's happening in real time right now. It's like pretty fascinating, and scary potentially, but more fascinating right now, I guess, because there are still products being manufactured and ships delivering those products. Like that's the tipping point where it turns from what it is now to something next level. And I'm hoping these measures that we're going through now are so that it doesn't get to that point. I mean, that's the point, is so that the trucks are still delivering goods for people to be able to sell those goods. So
absolutely.
I would say that one of the biggest things that people can do to help is calm down and listen.
Yeah.
Those two things will go a long, long way. They're talking about flattening the curve, and that's just trying to slow down the spread of the disease. That will ease the pressure on the medical facilities and medical personnel. And it'll slow the rate of spread on it as well, and it'll slow the rate of fatalities. Sorry, real quick. Now we're hopefully through the darker part of the conversation for the night. Gonna go back to the chat and shout out more folks that have showed up. Got Patrick, Skyras, Kelly, Roadhouse, Mark, and
hey Patrick,
Mark. Bear Island Comics. I don't know if I already shouted you out, man. 36 Chambers Tattoo Studio. We've got Bake the Snake. Did I just say that? I don't know. TJ, always welcome, man.
TJ.
Got Gottwalt JH. And thought I saw one other person. I'm sorry if I missed you. I don't see anyone else there though right now. So now what I kind of wanted to, Big Lion Cat, welcome.
Big Lion Cat.
Hey, Big Lion.
Man, I've got over 10 people in this right now. This is awesome.
Nice.
So what I kind of wanted to do is now start just talking a little bit more about if you guys have any ideas. I made a list kind of broken up into a couple different categories of things that people can kind of do to try and kill time, help themselves and their family stay a little bit calmer, because it's when you get bored that things start to look really bleak. And it's when work starts to get more difficult. If you're working from home, then when you have nothing else to do and you just have your work computer sitting in front of you, you really don't want to do it.
Well, I got one tip at the very top of my list.
Well, and before we get going too far, too, like I want to say, I know Los has got a new kiddo. Not how old is your youngest now?
4 months.
Yeah. So like this totally reminds me of those early months having a new kid when you're just like naturally quarantined anyways. Like you don't want to leave. You're just like I will say when Kate was born, like 12 years ago versus now, we're in an era where the internet and streaming and digital comics, and it is so much easier to be mind-numbingly entertained than it was. Like I don't even think I had a DVR when Kate was born. It was just like, did I have a VHS recording of that show the other night or something? Like, so it has evolved a ton, and I think that we are lucky, provided that the world's internet can handle everybody hunkering down and using it at the same time.
I actually saw something about that I'll get into.
Just a little thought about newborns and this experience. It reminds me a lot of having a kid. And
thanks, Big Lion Cat. Appreciate it.
Binge watch responsibly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Kavi, sorry, you were saying something.
Oh, well, I was gonna say I guess, top tip right now is to remain informed, but not overly informed. Like, don't watch the news for like 4 or 5 hours in a row where they're recycling the same kind of like soundbite over and over with different talking heads or whatever. You're just gonna drive yourself crazy, like just speculating on things.
I mean, that's a life tip. Though.
That's a life tip.
I try to get my dad to stop watching Fox and MSNBC whenever I see him do it. Like,
I don't care which one you watch or which channel, but like,
and I'm just like, Dad, you've had your fill. No more screen time for you, Pop.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, so that's non-comic book related. I mean, comic book related there's plenty to do. I mean, I got my iPad. I got 15 to 20 issues that I'm behind on my iPad to start diving into. I got like 20 trade paperbacks and stuff that I like, volume 1s that I haven't even cracked open yet. A lot of indie titles I haven't explored yet. So I'm going to be exploring the hell out of those the next few weeks. That's going to be fun. So I'm looking forward to doing all that.
And real quick, one comment that I just saw. Let me see if I can go find it. I can't remember who it was, but they were saying that they need to do more testing, and I know that one of those, and they're difficult to manufacture. So I actually saw I believe he was a whistleblower over in China that then disappeared after he blew the whistle, but he actually ended up donating, I think, either I want to say 1,000 or 10,000 testing kits to the U.S. after it started to spread and before he was disappeared.
Wow.
Hey, I got issues. What's up, man? Thanks for coming.
Yo, what's up, Chris?
Dude, what's going on, Chris?
But yeah, so it's there. I know that they are working on getting more testing kits, but I don't know the first thing about what goes into making them or anything. But it sounds like that is a big part of the issue, is just acquiring them.
Well, and obviously with all the panic that we're talking about watching the news, everybody's like, I feel a little scratchy in my throat. I'm going to run and get a test. Yeah. I want to get a test.
Yeah, I've got a buddy who was just freaking out about that today.
Yeah. I mean, and again, it's that, we do, it's funny because it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? We do live in a time and an era where information is so abundant, right? You can get it everywhere and anywhere all the time. And people tend, when things like this happen, people tend to just watch it constantly over and over and over again. And then that's when that panic and that fear starts to set in, because, at first it's like, okay, it's whatever, it'll pass. And then all of a sudden, you hear another thing and you hear another thing. And all of a sudden now the next town over gets something, or the next state over, or whatever. You're like, okay, now it's getting kind of real. Then all of a sudden, when those first couple of cases hit your area, you're like, oh shit, it is real. Like, and then now everything starts to get regurgitated on the news. And then that's when people start panicking. And it's like, okay, come on. Like, like you said, you just need to walk away from it. You digest a few bits and pieces here just to stay informed, and then go on about your day, do what you need to do, stay safe, but don't just keep watching it over and over, because then you're just going to panic, freak out. And it's like, there's no need for that.
Well, it's hard not to go to those. There's a million apps where they show you exactly how many people, how many cases, how many died. It's like, do you really need that much information?
I know. It's
at what point is it like, okay, I just need to walk away, read a comic book? Like, so I buy a crap ton of graphic novels and trade paperbacks. I have a ton, and I've always got like probably a short box at least of ones I haven't gotten to read yet.
Same.
So for me, I'm pulling those out, and I've always enjoyed going to my LCS and saying, oh, it's a light week, I'm only buying 2-3 books. Hey, I'm going to grab an Image #1 trade for $10, or I'm going to grab that 4th volume in that DC series that I'm catching up on because I'm so far behind, or whatever. I think it's a great time to spend time. Spending time reading, that's, if you can fill that gap with reading, like, come on. Yeah,
absolutely.
I went on a break. I went on a break buying new releases like about a month ago, and so because I started feeling like there was just more being set to the side. I also wanted to save the money on it and just sort of chill for a while. But like, kind of, I mean, when you actually make an effort to read all your books in like your reg, your to read short box,
Sure.
Like, that's a good feeling. Just normally as a comic book collector, not without even having this like opportunity of being home all day or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a good feeling. And now you do have that. I hate to call it an opportunity, but it is kind of from that
perspective. If there's a week that passes and I've got like more than one book that I didn't get to read, I feel so bad.
Yeah.
Horrible. So this is like, okay, good. I'm going to stay. I've already caught up. I'm good. I've got like, I think 2 for this week still to read.
Yeah, I think I have series that I still haven't read yet. Like
Same, I do too.
I'm just like, I can catch up, read an entire 18-issue series and stuff that I haven't read yet, because there's just so much. Time is short, and when a lot of things going on, 3 kids, newborn, work still, sometimes you just don't have the time for it.
Like Los, what's like number one? What's the number one comic you want to catch up on? What's the one that you're like, I got to catch up?
Right now, actually Daredevil, because I have not been reading the entire series.
The Zdarsky run?
Yeah, I have not read not one issue of it from issue 1 till now.
Oh man, you got like
it's pretty good. Like, I'm reading it on Marvel Unlimited, so I'm behind.
Yeah, and it's what, like 14, 16, something like that now?
I think issue 20 or 21 just came out, maybe, but yeah,
Marvel
Unlimited issue 13 or 14 just came out.
Yeah, like I said, I'm
Okay,
I'm way behind, so
nice.
That's a nice series to catch up on and stuff. So, but yeah, it's just tough. And I know there's a lot of some indie series and stuff like that I'm a few issues behind on. I know I'm behind on like Die. I think I stopped on like 7 or something like that, issue 7. So I have a few issues there.
Sure.
Once in Future.
That's a good one.
I think I read the first 5 or something like that. So I'm like a couple issues back. But
they got a new one coming next week too. They're starting the new storyline.
Yeah, the cover B, Frozen cover 2.
Oh man, it's so beautiful.
It is.
What's the state of your guys' LCSs like as far as operations? Like, we're having like limited hours, I think, is kind of the trend, but still open. But I don't know for how much longer. I guess.
Ours is
and then,
Mine is wide open. They haven't.
Yours wide open.
They haven't changed. They're offering pickup, like you can cruise through and just
like curbside.
Curbside.
I haven't taken advantage. I went in twice this week actually, because I got my books on Tuesday and realized I needed a crap ton of backing boards. So I went back and grabbed a trade and backing boards as well, because I was there and I was like, I'm not going to just buy the backing boards. I'll buy a trade to go with it.
I stopped by mine today just to grab one book. Actually, I'll show it real quick, because it's I got this only because the cover's done by a guy that I've been following on Instagram. It's the Captain Marvel 16 Boss Logic variant.
It is a beautiful cover. That really beautiful.
But I was the only person who was there. All the card game tables were put away, and they're closing earlier than normal every day. But it sounds like they're going to stay open at least daily for now.
Yeah, my LCS is they're staying open. They're still doing their regular hours, but they definitely canceled any board games, card games, whatever they had on the slate for the entire month of March is completely gone. They're trying to limit the amount of people in the store. So they're basically asking people, hey, you come inside, you grab your books, and you basically get out. They're even trying to limit the flow of people walking back and forth, passing each other. They're asking people to kind of stand outside, wait until a few people get their stuff and then leave, and then you kind of come in or something. So it's a little crazy and stuff like that. I mean, I haven't been to my LCS in a little while because, like Kavi, I kind of slow down a lot in my
I haven't been to a comic shop in a month or so.
Yeah, so and like I said, I've been slowing down on like new books anyway. Trying to pick up more of my wish list books, trying to focus more on those. But I get the newsletter and they canceled a bunch of stuff. And the thing that is a little sad is that I'm pretty sure they're going to cancel some of the things in April, and my comic shop had Jim Steranko was going to be there in April, and I met him once before, but it may be cool to kind of meet him again and stuff like that. So I was like, but I get it.
Yeah, he was gonna be at Big Apple Con April 4th and 5th, which I go to every year. It's it's a hotel con or whatever.
Yep.
But they canceled it, or they postponed it with no specific date or whatever.
Yeah, we had the same thing. Mine, he was gonna be here at a New England con. It was a hotel con. Same thing. It was like this past weekend, March 13th to the 15th or something like that, and they kiboshed that. So
yeah, and I've already canceled my MegaCon trip, which is the other thing. I took my vacation days back, or I submitted to get my vacation time back, or whatever.
I think that's gonna be the next one to fall. It's just it's too close, and everything that's hearing it's getting pushed out now into like August, July kind of deal. So even there, San Diego Comic-Con is kind of like on the chopping block as well. So,
potentially.
Which is that it's heartbreaking, man. Con season is going in the crapper. So it's like I
actually have a shop nearby that thought it was still thinks it's a good idea to have a big sale right now to take advantage of people not being able to go to cons and trying to cram as many people into their shop as possible this weekend. People are gonna, and they charge a lot for their books too, so people are basically just going to be charged out the ass for coronavirus.
Right.
That's awful.
Well, if you're looking to buy stuff in the next 2 to 3 weeks, or even starting now, frankly, you're going to start seeing better deals on You're going to start seeing better deals on eBay. You're going to start seeing auctions possibly go for less.
Look at Kavi with the brighter
Well, I mean, that's where my head.
Yeah, that's because Kavi probably has about 200 things in his watch list right now that he's like, these are all gonna drop.
Pretty much, yeah. But I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I have a feeling.
I have a feeling too
that if you do have reserves to buy back issues and things that you're for your PC or whatever, it could be a good opportunity to pick some of those up for a little bit lower. So
yeah.
If anyone was wondering why I muted my mic to talk to my wife, because the governor for my state announced an order that is going to remain in effect for a month of no gatherings of 10 or more, stay inside your home, only leave for essentials, delivery and takeout allowed.
Yeah.
So that's through April 19th.
Yeah, we're there already here without the official
announcement,
decree of shelter in place that San Francisco did.
Right.
They've had the most, I guess, extreme, immediate or quickest extreme reaction to it, which
anybody on the West Coast being closer to Asia has had Washington, I hear,
and Washington
Washington got hit hard.
Yeah, I think it's just natural proximity.
I know Reggie has been talking for a few days about being on under orders for shelter in place in the Bay Area. That's there's I know that certain groups even within the U.S. are not allowed to travel, even if they were originally directed to do so. They are not allowed to travel right now without getting specific waivers, even if it's for a move or if it's only temporary shifting between places. I've got a buddy who's up in Maine right now who was only supposed to be there for 2 weeks. He's probably going to be there for another 2 weeks at least.
Yeah.
Honestly though, I'm glad to see that people are taking this seriously. It's better to overact than to have to react in a case like this, in my opinion.
I feel like just rent a car and just get crazy and start driving. Right?
Yeah, that
I feel like that's if I was stuck somewhere with my kids and as the shelter in place, I'd be like, find the nearest rental car place, rent a car, and just start freaking driving. worth it.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, it's again, it's one of those situations where I think we haven't had to come across this. We've seen it in other places, SARS and all this other stuff happen in other places, and it never really caught on here. This is like that one time, or not one time, but this is one of those pandemics that's happening that a lot of the younger generation have never seen something like this, and people tend to freak out again. And there's a lot of misinformation out there that tends to freak people out. But I mean, like, again, you keep your head on, head on your shoulders and stay smart. Don't freak out. Don't, take every single thing as, scripture, and just like, no, just listen to a few things here and there. Take, what you need to, and just stay safe. Don't overreact. And I think that's what some people are doing. They just overreact, and it's just like, oh, come on, like there's no need for that. If everybody does what they need to do, everybody will be fine. But you have those people that overreact, they hoard too much stuff, and now there's a bunch of people that are left without, when there's easily enough to go around. But people tend to freak out, and it's like, oh, I'm going to be locked in my house for 18 months and I need 4,000 rolls of toilet paper. It's like, you're going to be okay. Like, I don't understand that. But again, it's the mindset, and that, I don't want to say mob mentality, but that just the craziness that people just like, yeah.
No, I mean, at my local grocery store, this lady was trying to buy. I mean, I don't know how many eggs this lady had in her basket, but it was nuts. I was like, "Lady, are you the Easter Bunny? Because I don't think you know how many fucking eggs you need." She had one of those slats. It was like 36 eggs on top, and it was like 3 deep, and she had like 4 of those. Plus, on top of that, my favorite part, on top of all of that, she had a normal 12 and 24, like a normal size.
The normal size.
Just like the normal, like sneak those in to go with whatever else. The lady was like, "You're only allowed 2 of any kind," and so she had to she filled a cart with stuff that was going back.
Wow.
It's like, lady got a lot of eggs. She's making omelets every day.
Every day.
I need eggs. I had to go to the store today to get a couple of things, and there were these 2 women who were just. They went to the shelf in the refrigerated section where all the chicken breasts were, and they just grabbed all of them in a single row to take with them. It's absurd.
Yo, what's up, Sam? I am.
Sam, what's up?
Yeah, I mean, it's not crazy here yet, but again, we're talking about a much higher volume of small businesses in ratio to like giant chain, supermarket style places here. So like, and I pretty much only frequent the small businesses. So I don't know. I've heard that it is kind of hectic at like Trader Joe's in like various neighborhoods in Manhattan, or Whole Foods and, or whatever, like the trend, the name brand places to go shop for groceries and supplies, probably are a little bit more competitive right now in NYC, but like, there are enough small businesses to go around, at least for now, like to where like pretty much everything is in stock that I can think of. So, yeah.
Except toilet paper.
What's going on, Matt?
So then I didn't get to Kavi and Backseat Driver. What do you guys like? What's the first read on your I got to catch up on this list?
Oh man, I bought the volume 1 to the what's that? Jonathan Hickman image series, East West. Yeah,
it is phenomenal.
So I'm gonna start that. I got a nice, almost, I think, pretty much near mint copy of issue number 1 in the Bake box that I got from Bake.
Nice.
So that was pretty cool score there. So I definitely want to start that series. I got several other indie titles like Brian Azzarello's Faithless. Cemetery Beach. I got the volume 1 trade of. I'm hearing good things about that.
Faithless 2 already started?
Probably. I haven't read the first one yet. But so there's a bunch of indies, I think, that I want to catch up on. And then, I'm about 3 weeks behind on New Comic Book Day reading digital. Like, I pick and choose what comes out each week digital, and I get like 3 or 4 for my iPad. So I got those to read in the short term. I got a few Batman stories to read for Gotham City Chronicles shows and stuff like that. We got Gotham by Gaslight. We're doing that with Soldier and Fuchsia.
Nice.
On Monday night. So I'm going to read that this weekend. So yeah, I got a bunch. I got more than I can probably keep track of that I could read.
What about you, Backseat?
So real quick, I'm actually going to use that his digital comment as a segue while I talk about mine to kind of highlight some of the alternative reading methods for people. Most people know about 3 of these 4 options, but I have also started reading a lot more digitally lately. Tried to cut back on my pull list a little bit.
Same here.
But Comixology is now owned by Amazon. They have been for a while. I think you can still read some books for free every week or something like that. Obviously, you can do it a free trial like anywhere else, pretty much. But then you can do the unlimited, and they have a pretty wide variety of books. It's not just DC, it's not just Marvel. They do some indies.
And I'll say every once in a while they'll have little sales. So my girls have a Amazon Kindle, and they've been reading on that for a while now. And every once in a while they'll have like, it's the first Marvel masterpiece of Spider-Man is on sale, and I can, for $1 or something, I get the whole thing, and I just download it onto their Kindle, and they can read the original Spider-Man stuff. So they've got Avengers and Spider-Man and a lot of that. It's really cool. It's really
glad you have. I see a tab there for Hoopla. I'm glad you have that on there. I was going to suggest that too.
Yep, I saw that.
Obviously, there's Marvel.
That's totally free.
Yep.
DC Universe, a lot of people, like you can see, I've been watching stuff, but you can also read a lot of older DC comics. These are the ones that I've read lately. Green Lantern 22, Green Lantern 201, Mr. Miracle 1. I need a lot of the new,
I've noticed the DC, Mr. Miracle. Yeah. So I've been just starting the DC app, and I've noticed that I feel like a lot of the newer stuff is not like Deceased has been over for a while, and it's still not on there. I don't know if they're just like shifting away from that app now and then just not putting the newest stuff, but the older stuff is, it's all there.
Yeah, and initially they didn't even have a lot of the big older stuff. Like I was trying to read Green Lantern 59 and 87 when I first found them, and they weren't on there for like 6 months after the app was created.
It's better for like story arcs that are from like 5+ and longer years ago, I would say, in my opinion, at least what I've found on there. Like, it's a little bit hard to like pinpoint single issues on there. It's like digital versions of trades, really, is what it is. It's like books, it's like a library. So
And speaking of libraries,
I am too. TJ's like, and that's what I was talking about earlier. So TJ is saying I'm getting discount offers all over the place from eBay sellers off my watch list. So am I. And that's why I was saying earlier that now it's a buy. We're going to be entering a true buyer's market.
People are freaking out about a lot of market related things, whether it's comics or
stocks,
401ks and stuff. And especially if you are in your like 20s or something, it's not a time to panic. You've got 40 years before you need to use that thing.
What about 42? How's that?
I don't know enough about that.
But yeah, Hoopla is fantastic. Like, I honestly need to check it more before I buy a trade, like, because chances are I probably could have just read it for free in Hoopla. But sometimes I do like having just a physical trade,
For those that
someone explain Hoopla to me, because this is all new to me.
So John, if you have a library card, go to hoopla.com and try and input your information from your county library or whatever it is, and chances are they'll have free access to hundreds of comic books and regular books and whatnot.
You can like load on
because you have a lot. Yeah, they have an iPad app and everything.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's really cool. It's all free. It's all part of your library membership. Really.
Yeah. This show is amazing. I'm going right now.
This show is amazing. I was gonna say that the Hoopla was a library app that it's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be based off of, it'll ask for your location essentially to determine what library district you're a part of, and then you pick your home library, I guess, as well. Enter in your library card and then your PIN. I I need to get a new library
I'm
card.
downloading it right now.
There you go.
It's
I
happening.
haven't gotten a library card since I was like 8, and I had the same one, but I moved about 1,200 miles from where I grew up, so it's no good anymore out here.
That comment from
I
Bear.
realized what Los was just laughing at. I was like, Los was laughing.
Your AARP
Probably making
card.
fun of me.
AARP.
You're doing it. Bear Island, you're allowed. You're allowed.
Yeah, so I've got the Chrome window open over the chat right now, so it's hard to track. And we'll get to the other tab that I had open in a little bit. And so I guess so that was essentially. Hey JP, what's up?
JP.
AP.
So that kind of covered one of the entire categories that I wanted to hit on how to change up how you read, I guess. And now I'll really quickly hit on what I'm behind on. So I use mycomicshop.com for my pull list just because it's because I've moved several times since I started reading comics, like once a year essentially, and it also allows me to spend a little bit more on keys at my shop, vice just on the pull books. Even though I still, like you saw that Boss Logic cover, I'll still pick up a couple new books every week or two from there. So I'm behind on literally everything from the past month, and I had to wait a whopping 3 extra days for my shipment because of the slowdown that USPS has had to deal with after all this craziness started.
I got some sort. Did you guys get this email? I don't know. I got an email from FedEx saying that they're now, regardless of the status of like the type of package, like if it's supposed to be signature, confirmation on delivery or whatever, that they're just going to leave packages, like, contactless. Really? Yeah, I got some sort of email about that, and I was like, well, I guess that makes sense, but at the same time, if I have like a very expensive like book coming or piece of art or something, like,
exactly,
do I want that just left? Like,
I got a CGC package that might be coming sometime in April, and it's like 9 books in that thing, and
right, you don't want that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
So that was, I mean, I was a little concerned reading something like that, but I didn't like call them up being like, how does this work? Like, what are the exact parameters of this?
So the next category.
Make sure you write down every book with
right?
every case.
My wife told me that every time I get a package, she's like, wipe down the whole package, wipe it down before you open it, before you bring it to the house.
Somebody tried to put the biggest fear in me. They were like, the bubble wrap, they filled that with air in China. What the heck is wrong with you? Are you really trying to cause mass panic right now? What the heck?
I know.
John, didn't you know that they individually breathe into every one of those?
Right?
Everyone.
Then you just see that guy breathe into it and seal it. Breathe in, seal it. Dude, come on.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Fake news site are you getting this crap from?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
So real quick, next up, I wanted to talk about kind of a little bit more focused how you might have to change the way you collect, not just read. Because I know, like, I prefer to go to my LCS. I usually go to just the one, even to get my bigger books when I can. But obviously, there's eBay. There are other sites and sources. However, like we were talking about earlier, curbside pickup for an LCS. If yours doesn't do it, it might be worth asking if they would, because it might enable them to stay open a little bit more than they originally thought. Or some of them apparently are even doing delivery. A lot of them won't be able to do that, but you never know. You can always ask. It can't hurt to ask, especially if you've built a relationship with the owner or the people that work there.
True.
Obviously, there's eBay, there's Comically, Comic Connect.
I'm going to negotiate harder and lower my bar on my top bids on auctions across the board. I mean, I'm not afraid to say that. I mean, that's just that's smart. That's what I'm doing that. But I'm also going to go out of my way to support like smaller, YouTube channels, auctions that go under the radar. I just bought a bunch of stuff from the Symbiote Comic Club, like everybody that was selling on their auction, which doesn't have as big of a turnout as some of these other auctions.
I wanted to actually mention, because JP put me onto his local shop, and their YouTube channel and how they've been doing auctions and stuff lately. So
yeah, exactly.
They've got like 100 or less subscribers, right around like 100, 150. And so like they're not getting people in their auctions.
Right. Like I'm not worried about Midtown not getting my business for the last month or the next 6 weeks. I'm more concerned about like the local comic book community, collectors and stuff. I'm going to look to find more trade opportunities, Instagram, whatnot. I think that's more where I'm going with my how this is affecting my collecting strategy or my, buying strategy. But if I'm going after anything big, I'm lowering my bar. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and that's usually like auctions and stuff. But I'm probably not going after anything big anytime soon. So.
You already got that one big book. So
yeah, I know. Right at the last Comic-Con to ever occur. C2E2. The last con.
The last con.
I need to get rid of some like dollar books. I need to get in on one of the auctions at some point because they're just books that I've read them. I don't care enough about them to want to keep them. I want to put the money towards books I really care about and the space as well, because I only have like 1,500 books, which is not a lot compared to a lot of people.
Only
1,500. That's over.
I don't know how many books I have.
A couple of years of pulling. I
gave up on cataloging my collection outside of the slabs. I have a little less than 200 slabs, like 170 something. But raw books, I have no clue what I got.
Slabs, I've got 50.
I know. I got crap everywhere, and I tell my wife, because she's on my desktop over, or my house computer, and my desk, the entire top of the desk just has piles of comic books on it that are just they're just sitting there, and I tell her, it's like, they're not coasters, don't put anything on them. It's like, so just avoid those at all costs.
Well, hell, that actually is a perfect segue into another possible use of time. While people are having to sit at home and do virtually nothing, if you want to document what you have in your collection, it's a great time to do it.
Hell yeah, I'm totally doing that. I've avoided that for the whole time I've been on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a bunch more crap and not count it.
I'm just gonna buy more stuff and keep piling it up.
I actually got a few tips from TJ.
I'm gonna download Hoopla and start reading the Thief. That's what I'm doing right now.
Nice.
Yeah, that you should do regardless.
That definitely.
Taking after his daughters and leaving in the middle of a live stream to start reading.
Right. I'm just gonna be over here.
Sound good.
What's up? No Good Comics in the house.
Hey, No Good Comics.
Samantha Richards.
I will say I'm going to support my LCS all the way down the line. I don't think they're going to have as big a problem, but maybe, who knows? I'm just going to keep rolling in there every week, and if they go to exclusive drive-through, then I'll just roll through. Here's my credit card, buddy. You just keep that on file. We'll just keep rolling. Pull those 3 trades, throw them in the lot, and let's just drive through.
That's it. Yeah, no, I tried it. Like I said, I haven't made it to my LCS too often. Things just been a little crazy. But every once in a while, I still do call them up, and I still ask if they have a few books. Hey, put them to the side for me and stuff. So I still at least try to go there every once in a while, pick up a few books. I'll pass by every once in a while, see what they have in the wall. If they have any good wall books, we can make a pretty good deal. Because you have to support them, man. Because it sucks when they shut down, man. It's tough because you see them, and these guys been here 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and all of a sudden they just shut down just because nobody wants to go anymore. Everybody's just getting everything on eBay or whatever, and it's just like, come on, you guys are right there, man. Just go to your local LCS. I mean, unless you have a really bad LCS, because there has been some horror stories, but from what I've noticed, most of them are pretty good. The owners are usually there. You can usually talk to them and converse with most of the people there, and get to know them and stuff like that. So if you can, it's a good thing. I know I supported my LCS by donating some money to them. I collected some money from my job for myself, and went and said, hey, here's some money. I want you to start kind of like a secret little reading club, basically. So any kids that come in, if they come in, they basically get a free book. Don't even need to say who it is from. It's anonymous. You just got a free book. You know, they come up to the counter. They're like, hey, I want to pay for this book. And it's like, nope, it's on the house. Somebody already paid for it for you. So I did that a few times and stuff like that to the, my LCS. So hopefully it was worth it. And I know every time I went back and they were like, yeah, the money went in a week or a couple of days, it was gone. Which I'm like, hey, that's awesome. I mean, it's more kids that are reading, the better. So
yeah. I mean, I'm. This is not necessarily comic book related, but because you can't actually sit down anymore in a restaurant in New York City or a bar or whatever, like when I do go in there to, order takeout or whatever it is, I throw cash tip, like to whoever is like working the counter or whatever, because they're still, they're still there all day, like, trying to fill all these takeout orders and delivery orders and whatnot. And that the amount of lost tip wages that this is going to result in, it's a huge hit to the economy. Like, it's crazy.
And I jokingly, I mean, other than, I don't know what's going on, obviously, with the cooking of my food or any of that kind of stuff backstage, but everybody I saw so I took the girls and my wife and we went out on Sunday night. And we were like, knowing that nobody was going to be there, that these waiters and waitresses were living off of whatever tips they could get. Every one of them had a bleach bottle. They were spraying down everything.
Yeah.
I got the feeling that I was probably in the most sterile environment I could probably ever be in. So it felt good to support, like you're saying. Leave a good tip and just be like,
I mean,
if you can, not everybody can.
If you can. I mean, I totally understand. I mean, my wife, was a waitress for a while, and she told me, I mean, yeah, it's tough. I mean, you don't get paid anything. Like the pay is very low, and then most of it is actually coming from your tips.
Yeah.
So obviously, when there's no patrons in the store, those tips go away, and it's like, what are you gonna do? So it's tough, man. A lot of people are struggling right now.
Yeah, man. It's I forgot. Yeah, there are people all over that. Doesn't matter what the field is. There are people that are either getting for a little. Sucks.
Yeah. Airlines are doing like temporary layoffs because it's just nobody's flying anywhere.
Yeah.
Restaurants. Things are just shutting down left and right.
So on a lighter note,
crazy.
I hear like outdoor background noise from somebody. Do you hear that? Like crickets or something. Yeah, outside. I don't know.
It's backseat.
I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's backseat.
That's not my chair. I'm standing up now. It's not my chair. I'm hearing it too. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah.
I got a headphone on, so I don't know. Maybe I'm breathing too heavy into the mic.
It's like a hot summer swamp outside.
Nah, John, it's still coming through. I just muted my mic too, and it was still going. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I agree, TJ. He just locked down the state. I was announcing some of that basic transition through the next month, so through the 19th.
Yeah.
It looks like you said, John, you're governor. Just lock down the streets. I'm in charge.
You're in charge.
You are governor. You are governor. Just lock down the state.
Do that,
California's really screwed.
Yeah, right. Deep weeds. Everybody, hunker down.
All right, so some other things.
Loving right now. Just going through and loading.
I'm just loading stuff.
Hey, at least you guys got recreational there.
I'm just like, go. Okay, more of that. I haven't read that. Let's read that.
Let's do that.
So the things you can do, kill some time that are related to your collection, along with documenting. So actually, TJ gave me some good tips on how to get a better picture for different apps. So, like I use Go Collect to document my slabs, and I was having some trouble getting a good image to put in there. Like my phone has good.
I really have a hard time with that. I get
lights.
glare from everything.
Yeah,
Exactly.
And basically what he does is he puts down a black towel on the kitchen floor or whatever floor you got, puts the slab on top of that, and takes like 20 pictures, and then picks the best one, crops it, and then
with natural light, or like what kind of lighting with that?
That I'm not sure.
That's been my issue, because like I live in kind of like a darker, place with once it's like past 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the the afternoon or whatever, the amount of natural light really diminishes, and then I got to put artificial light or whatever, and the artificial light, it sucks taking pictures of the books with the artificial light because I get so much light glare.
Yeah.
So yeah. Cause some glare,
especially on the slabs.
I'll show you what I've got real quick. I use this little light. It's just an LED strip essentially.
Okay.
I got it off Amazon. But then if I put it right back here behind the camera, at the right angle, and then I put the slab kind of here. I'm not going to go through the.
I see. So like adjacent
right
to it, but not
at the right angle.
Direct.
And you take a picture from right here. Usually works out pretty well. And then I actually, on top of what TJ was telling me, I also just basically converted every image to a PDF via just an app, Adobe Scan. You can upload images, convert it to a PDF, and then it'll allow you to crop it much better, because usually if it's just regular photo editing software, it's just going to allow you to grow or shrink the square.
So yeah, that's actually a decent idea. I use an app called Genius.
All the edges.
Have you guys heard of an app? I use an app called Genius Scan to scan documents from my phone, but I've never actually tried it on a non-paper document. But I'm sure there's better apps.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I really like Adobe Scan. I've used it a lot. I think there's Cam Scan as well.
Cam Scan?
Okay.
For that. Is Adobe Scan a paid service, or is it free?
No, it's free.
It's free? Okay.
Pretty sure.
Check that out.
I don't pay for apps. I don't like to do that. I just find whatever's free and go with it.
Yeah.
I don't like to, but I will if I have to.
True.
Was that Batman Damned a 10-0?
Yeah, I wish.
Because if it's not a 10-0, it goes in the trash. Yeah, you just got to throw that away. Throw that away.
If anybody in the chat,
I think there was actually less 9/8s than they were 10-0.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm looking for things for my hoopla. If anyone in the chat has a good DC series, I need to read it on. Throw that shit in the chat, man.
The last 20 minutes, John was just like, "Yep, that's good. Yep, that's good." No.
I was like, "Wait a second. I have Marvel Unlimited. I don't need these. I can get those elsewhere. Like, what do I upload?" So it's more the DC and the indies. If you got one,
the indies. They actually Hoopla has a lot of indies in there.
Let's go, chat. Work it.
Hey, feel free to put whatever suggestions you have into the chat, guys. No restrictions there, as long as they're actual comics.
Apparently, I got a month of this ahead of me. The real challenge, I mean, honestly, if I'm thinking about now with the announcement, like a month of this, the real challenge is how do I keep my kids physically active? And I don't even have boys. Like, if I had boys this age, I'd be like, okay, we got to like figure out ways to move, figure out ways to be teaching.
Well, you're still allowed out. I mean, it's
well, the thing that the quarantine announcement that the governor made said you're only allowed out for essentials. I don't know that jogging around the block is an essential.
Do you have a yard?
I would be down.
Maybe not.
I don't think a cop's going to pull me over and give me a ticket for taking a jog with my daughter. But if they start rolling Humvees through my neighborhood and block them down, I don't know, man.
I mean, honestly,
something tells me the Humvees won't be making their way to OC.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is,
it's not a Bruce Willis movie.
going out and getting exercise. I mean, it's considered as essential. You mean you need that. You can't have kids in the house all day because they go absolutely bonkers on you. They're not going to allow you to. They're not going to keep your dog locked inside. No.
You're not allowed.
You have to be able to go out and stuff like that. I mean, I have a 5-year-old, a 3-year-old, and a 4-month-old. And they need to get out of the house. Like they can't be in here all the time. Because then they just go absolutely bonkers. It's just like they need some fresh air. They need to get out, run around, burn some energy.
My third graders, those boys can't do 30 minutes without needing a little jumping up and down. And
oh my God, it's
I can't imagine a month. 30 days, like.
No, yeah, you need to. You have to keep them distracted somehow.
It's true of us too, though. Like, get up, move around, like do some stretch, do some yoga, do something. You know, find some stairs nearby that you can go up and down a few times.
Oh yeah.
So that is another good segue, actually, into another possible use of your time. So
JP says now we know where the girls get it from.
I know a lot of people, one of their biggest issues when it comes to trying to stay healthy is all the time they have to spend at work sitting around. And while, yes, most of what you're going to do at home is sitting around, there are a lot of floor exercises you can do, whether it's planks, push-ups, curl-ups. You can get one of those doorway pull-up bars. Kavi knows this. I lost 104 pounds over about 330 days.
Damn, and excellent.
While most of it was a change of food intake.
Yep.
A big part of it was the workout regimen, and most of what I did, almost all of what I did, other than swimming, which you probably won't be able to do right now, was floor exercises. Whether it was trying to work on L sits, which are really difficult. I still can't really do one. Doing the pull-ups, doing push-ups, doing curl-ups, whatever it is. There are if you go on Reddit, there are entire subreddits dedicated to body weight fitness.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not CrossFit. It's a lot easier on the body. It's intense. It'll make you break out into a sweat. And I mean, hell, you can do burpees in your living room. I would recommend against doing it on tile or wood
I would actually
floor.
say, like, I remember several different professional, trainer people who basically said that for men, and obviously most of our chat is made up of men, that the burpee is the ideal exercise for men. And if you can routinely work burpees into your day, just even if you did like a minute of them first thing in the morning, how many can I do in a minute? And then just go about your day and then come back later and do another minute. Like it's the ideal cardio and strength training kind of thing. I want to know, what is an L? You said an L sit?
Yeah. So basically, I'm not going to even try and demo it.
Chair where you're like,
oops.
Uh-oh.
No, that's called
accidents.
A bottle kick.
That was an empty bottle. Don't worry.
So an L sit is basically where you sit on the ground with your feet straight out in front of you.
Okay.
You're shaped like an L right there, and then you put your hands essentially parallel, your arms parallel to your back, with your hands flat on the floor, and the goal is to lift your whole body off the floor, including your feet. So basically, you're using your core.
So you look like an L suspended in air.
Exactly.
Like
the ultimate goal.
Holy crap!
The ultimate goal is to be able to do a V sit where you have your feet and like you basically cant your whole body backwards. I can't do that.
God damn, I do yoga. I'm not gonna be able to pull that crap off.
No,
that's some superhero shit right there.
Yeah, I can barely get out of bed without my knees and everything cracking.
Yes,
that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, running is not a good idea for you then either, probably.
Everything has sound effects.
Jay being here with all his bumpers and sound effects and stuff,
right?
But yeah, and like so just getting out in the yard, if using the grass instead of whatever hard floor you might have is going to be better for your back, especially if you're doing sit-ups and stuff. You do not want to be doing crunches or sit-ups on a hard floor.
On a hard floor, yep. It's
going to hurt and it's going to cause damage. But like I said, push-ups, curl-ups, chin-ups, pull-ups, L-sits, working on them. It's still going to be a workout, even if you can't get your feet off the ground, because you're still working your arms just to lift your butt off the ground. And if you're able to hold it for a little while and you start trying to lift your feet, there's a whole routine on, I think it's reddit.com/r/bodyweightfitness. They have a beginner routine. They have an advanced routine. They've got a whole bunch of stuff that really helped me out a lot. And along with exercise, a good idea, if you have a dog, walk your dog while you're still able to. A lot of people don't walk their dogs enough. I know I don't. They need a lot more exercise than we generally think. Yeah. Take advantage of the free time. Get them out.
Yeah.
They're going to love it.
Yeah.
That's another reason why I've been considering adopting a dog. Like it forces you to do it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's my thing. I mean, I have a dog too, and I mean, it forces me to take him on in the morning. You know, my wife takes him on in the afternoon, and then I take him out at night. So he goes out 3 times a day.
Nice.
But it helps me get out of the house as well too, because if not, I just be sitting here, doing nothing.
And JP just said he just tried an L-sit and he's now broken.
I think this whole chat's gonna give an L-sit one try.
Yeah, they were like everybody was like, I think I could do that. I think I could do that. I was like, nope, something popped. Yeah. I'm done.
I probably should have said this first. I'm not an expert in this stuff, guys. I'm just telling you what I did.
No, that's the whole point. Resources, people can find things. So my brother played professional basketball for 2 years in Germany after college and had all these routines. He was exercising twice a day. He was drinking beer and eating food like crazy, a horrible food, and losing weight because of how much exercise he was doing. And he put me on to several simple little routines. And one of his favorites was a 7-minute workout that you just repeat as many times as you want to do it. Mm-hmm. So if you got 30 minutes, you could do it, 4 times. And it had like a wall sit, it had a plank, it had push-ups, it had jumping jacks, it had a chair sit like I was doing. It had like a chair where all you needed was a wall, a chair, and that was it. I think that was all the items you needed to do it.
Nice.
And you did like a minute routine, a minute of this, a minute of that, a minute of whatever, and you just rotated through it. And after 7 minutes, you take a drink of water, and if you were, batshit crazy, you do it again. You do it, however many rounds you wanted.
Oh, yeah,
absolutely.
And so my wife and I would do like, when we were brazen, we would do like 3 or 4 rounds. And when we were lazy, we would do 1 and then be like, okay, yeah, we did something.
Yeah, we did something.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, anything is better than nothing. Like even if you're just going on a walk around the block, any exercise is better than nothing. Because just standing up even is better than sitting down. It makes your body process energy a little bit faster. Not much.
No,
a little bit.
Honestly, I will happily tell you with a 3rd grader, it is night and day. I'll have boys that are just like fading and they're just not able to focus. And we'll do a quick exercise. We'll do some movement. They'll sit down and they'll have it's like a whole new kid. And it's true. It's just a human condition. We weren't meant to just sit and stare at a screen all day.
Yep.
Exactly.
So it's not something wrong with you, right?
No.
Yeah. If you have knee issues, if you're so when I was still overweight, I was very overweight. I did not run for the first. I just swam till I lost some weight because running when you're overweight is going to mess up your knees, almost guaranteed.
Yep.
And your back. It can be hard on your back.
It's tough because it's like a vicious circle when you're dealing with that stuff. It's not fun, but it's so worth it when you get it worked out.
Nice. Very nice.
So let's see what else. Other options to kill time? I mean, hell, do a live stream. That's what we're doing.
So it's all about kids. It's all about board games and Legos and art. So today, my daughters finished their coursework for the day, what they needed to get done, and they just took a crap ton of paper outside and they were just painting. They were painting stuff and they were out in the sun and they were having a great time. It was an hour of solid entertainment, and I gave them nothing but the supplies. Like, here, just take this stuff. And again, you can order all the supplies if you don't have any stuff at home for your kids, or if you just want to paint and color. Because honestly, I have a Game of Thrones adult coloring book, and it is awesome. Fire.
It's definitely adult.
Like, it's just a good mental reset. Like, hey, I want to take 15 minutes and I'm gonna get all detailed. I'm gonna get all focused in on this. Freaking Daenerys is gonna look amazing when I'm done in 15 minutes. It's a mental reset, and whether it's physical or just moving from another space to a different. So like for my girls, like I set Kate on hey, I want you to build an animal hospital. Go. And she was gone building a Lego animal hospital for an hour. And it's amazing. It's it had this corral for horses and this spot for the bunnies. And then she built a pool for a dolphin. And I was like, this is crazy.
Yeah.
But for her, it was a mental and physical reset. She wasn't staring at a screen. She got away from it all for a little bit. And Sam, I am. Thank you. I'm loading like everything on your list there that I haven't read. I'm loading.
Yeah, those are all great image titles.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's awesome.
I've read all of Why the Last Man. I think I've read all of Paper Girls. I've got half East of West, and I'm loading Southern Bastards right now.
Very nice.
So TJ's answer, he uses both natural light and kitchen light. So do it during the day, turn on your kitchen light, take the pictures. We'll be good to go.
Awesome. Yeah, and I have the same thing here. I know my wife is she's downloaded a few things for the girls to do and stuff like that just to keep them entertained. I know her teacher has just sent over a package, and they have like a scavenger hunt that they have to go and find different things to go around and like keep them entertained. So it's like, okay, you need to find 4 things of this color, or something that starts with this letter or whatever, just to keep them active and looking around and just keeping their mind off of things. Yeah, I know my daughter's, she's only in kindergarten, but she was enjoying it, and then it just got cut, and it was like, nope, and you're done. And it's just like, it's like, great, that's awesome. So to keep her that mindset of like, hey, you still need to go through it, you still need to learn stuff, and still make it fun in that sense. Holy crap, that's awesome.
This is what Kate built. I wasn't talking to God this time. I was talking to Kate.
Oh, okay.
Look,
same thing.
Dolphin habitat going up here.
That is awesome.
Little bunnies sanctuary. You want to say
Nice.
you shot.
Bunny sanctuary.
Right? These are all bunnies.
That's awesome.
1, 2, 3, 4, 8. Well, hey, they multiply like right. Then you got the whole horse. Look at this whole horse, and then I forgot the aviary. Look at all the birds. And I don't know if it's good having the cats right near the birds.
Right at the birds.
That might be.
It's like Animal Farm, but everybody wins.
That. Nailed it.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
She's a cool kid.
Yeah, they need to. I mean, they need as much as the physical aspect of what they need, but they also need the mental aspect of it as well. They just need that time to kind of hunker down, look at something, take their mind off of everything else, kind of focus on that, and then give them that physical time to kind of run around. And the fact that I'm still able to go to work, my wife is at home, she has the flexibility of working from home, and my manager has given me the flexibility as well to either come in early and leave early, or go in late, or however I need to rearrange my schedule to work best for my home life, which is pretty cool. So I'm able to go in really early when everybody's still sleeping, and then I can get home sometime in the afternoon. I can still spend time with the girls and spend time with my kids and everything. So that's really cool, and that's important in this kind of craziness as well.
Absolutely.
If you keep hearing noise, it keeps starting and pouring rain, and then it stops, and pours rain and it stops. Sorry.
I mean, I think also like I'm gonna probably watch more YouTuber content than I've been able to before. Like I think because there is a lot of people making content on a daily basis. There's only so much time in the day. But now it's a little bit easier to like sneak in a 10-minute video or a 30-minute video here and there throughout the day, especially if you're working from home. So I feel like throwing more support towards channels I've watched less historically, newer channels, etc., supporting other community members, things like that, is definitely something I'm going to be doing. And then also hopefully making more content, because I don't make a lot of content, and now all of a sudden I'm here all day, like, you know what I mean? Like I could make a few videos possibly, you never know.
I think YouTube is being swarmed right now, because I don't know if anybody's noticed issues YouTube is having with your subscription feed. There it is. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Like edit videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
My YouTube feed will not populate with the shows that are currently
Neither will mine. No, neither will mine.
You have to go, if you know somebody's live, because maybe you follow Los on Instagram and he said he's going to be on Backseat Drivers.
You have to check your email notifications.
You got to go to Backseat Drivers channel and find him live. So even the channels I have the bell clicked on,
Oh, really? You're not getting the emails?
I'm getting the pop-up notification on my phone, and I'd have to go into my what do they call it? Your inbox on your YouTube. So I go to my inbox on YouTube, and I see that Chad RCG is live. I see Reggie was live. I see Comic Core's live. I see Backseat Drivers live. But I won't see that in my subscription feed. It's really I think it's because so many people are doing it now and posting things more because we're all quarantined.
Well, like Discovery Bay earlier today was.
Sam, that's a great movie. Great movie.
Yeah, the first one was better though. First one was better.
Was it?
I think so.
Was it? I kind of like the second one, but that's fair.
Just me. That's fair. I haven't seen the first one in a while though either, so it might be just nostalgia kicking in.
Just let it go, buddy. Let it
go. Oh yeah. Discovery Day was.
Hey, Russ.
He only had
not Russ.
Me on the lineup today because he didn't have any other notifications come through or anything on YouTube, so it was literally just this that he had on the lineup. Like he had other worked out. He had other people like on Instagram that had tagged him, but this was it.
Make sure you guys are subscribed to Backseat Driver. He's at 129. So let's.
I gained 2 tonight.
Which is absolutely ridiculous. That should definitely.
Well, he had that whole other channel and had to start from scratch, of which I still couldn't understand why. But I don't want to rehash old wounds.
I'm not gonna pick it. I'm not gonna pick at it.
He had like a few hundred on that at least.
I was at like 130 something, I think. So I'm already
so you've regained. Okay, all right, that's cool.
I'd say part of the reason he's stuck so low is he keeps having me on his channel.
That's boosted me twice.
Bad decision making right there, straight up.
So far, the biggest boost to my subscriber count has been Tony Sanders, because on my old channel, he made subscribing to my channel part of his contest for like 300 subscribers way back when.
He did, yeah.
At the same time, he made my subscribing to my channel part of his contest.
I remember that.
Yeah.
But then I didn't put any content out, so everybody left.
And yeah, that's right. You stopped cold turkey, and I stopped. I went to my once a month pace.
Yeah, things at work got
that's better than my like once every 3 months.
That worked. I mean, that seemed to work out for me. Like, I mean, I'm not like blazing speed with my subscriber growth. I'm like almost at 650, but like I don't make enough videos. Yeah,
you're John, channel killer.
I'm trying to make
slowly bleed the life out. Working strategy.
Nice.
I'm trying to make one video every other week, one edited video every other week. It's my comic debriefs right now. I've only got 2 up. I'm gonna try and put up a third next Thursday. Trying to make Thursday afternoons the day that I do it because there don't seem to be a whole lot of videos put up. So I figure it won't intrude on anyone else's time. And then I might try and do a live stream on the opposing every other week as well. We'll see if I can do that. I don't know. You guys are always up way later than I'm usually able to be. This is only because I don't have to go in super early to work tomorrow.
There you go.
But
I gotta work tonight because because I work in music. All the new music comes out on midnight Eastern, Thursday nights or whatever. So I actually have to probably bounce in about 10 minutes here and actually prepare to work, which kind of sucks. But
I'm going to then highlight one other thing before you do go, because this is, in my opinion, one of the best things this weekend to kill time on. Who have not seen the movie Dodgeball, they mention a channel called ESPN 8 The Ocho. And
The Ocho.
At least in August, every August for the past couple of years, they turn ESPN 2 or sometimes ESPN 3, the internet, their internet streaming service, into ESPN 8 The Ocho, and they have absolutely ridiculous sports on there, including my favorite.
That is awesome. Spitting.
So, starting at
midnight. Spitting.
We've got Johnson LACL Cornhole Championships, 2020 Kickoff Battle, World Axe Throwing Championships, U.S. Open Ultimate Championships. I'm guessing that's Ultimate Frisbee.
It might be a little sad that I've actually seen the stone skipping championship before. I've actually seen it. So,
but these things they're absolutely amazing. They've got
That's
marble
awesome.
racing. They have
stupid robot fighting.
Driver Championship. Come on.
Last August,
Amazing.
I was in Nevada in the middle of nowhere, and they had ESPN 8 The Ocho on, and they were showing the Marble Olympics. They had marble diving. They had marble hurdles. They had marble ski jumping. It was
my favorite Olympic sport is curling. I freaking love that shit. I could watch that all day. So this is like marble. That guy's playing marble.
Oh, that is awesome.
So yeah, starting at midnight on Sunday. So that's not the end of Sunday, people. Just so you know, it is the first minute of Sunday.
So you're making me regret cutting the cable now.
I haven't had cable in a couple of years now. I do Hulu with live TV. There's also YouTube TV.
I pay for Hulu. That might work.
Hulu with live TV. I think it's like $49.99 a month. But then you can also get like HBO Now and Showtime.
Nice.
For a total of $15 additional a month. And personally, we get all but one channel that we want, and that was the DIY channel, and I don't even care anymore.
That sounds like a good deal. I mean, how much do you pay for internet? That's the part that gets me.
So internet, I do gigabit through Verizon Fios. So
I don't have that.
Like 70 something a month right now for gigabit.
It's pretty solid.
But yeah, and there are other deals.
It seems like no matter what, though, if you pay for internet and then you get these like other a la carte services, or if you just pay for a cable package and internet from your cable provider, it always ends up in that 130 to 160 like range. You know what I mean? And it's like you can't shake that range of dollars spent. You know, I don't know. That's true.
Well, that is true.
Yeah. I wish there was a better way, but
although like when we used DirecTV, we were using like our internet was on top of like the 130 a month, and the 130 a month was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was just it's absurd when, especially like we were down in Florida at the time, and it rains every other day, and it rains hard, and you lose your signal. I mean, I was trying. I'm a Broncos fan, and 2 years ago we sucked, but still a Broncos fan. And week 17 on an NFL Sunday Ticket channel, they switched off the Broncos game in the fourth quarter. It was a Broncos Raiders game in week 17, and they switched off to another game on a Sunday Ticket channel, and I was done with DirecTV after that. D-Runk. What's up, Metaphor?
D. What's up, George?
Metaphorical.
George, did you make it back to Minnesota? Yeah, I didn't hear.
Yeah, that's right.
You did make it back. You did make it back, yeah.
Because I was hanging with him out here.
I was just chatting with him and told him we're all live right now. Come over here.
Banking comic book shops all across Southern California.
D-Runk, you want a quick recap? I can do a pretty quick recap. So we were talking about how we were changing everything based on the situation. Collecting, you can talk to your LCS about possibly doing curbside pickup or delivery. There's always eBay, of course, mycomicshop.com, Midtown Comics. You can do delivery. For reading, there's Comixology, Marvel Unlimited, DC Universe. Hoopla is a library service. Use the library card. Obviously, trade paperbacks. John just discovered Hoopla tonight. For your collection, you can work on reorganizing it. You can build a comic cabinet, or you can just talk to Classic Collector on Instagram, and they build fantastic stuff. That's what I've got. You can document your collection, like I started doing a little bit better on. Other stuff that's comic related, you can look into other people that are live streaming. You can live videos, other non-comic related stuff. Take your dog for a walk, exercise, do some other hobbies like, I don't know, start working on wood or leather or something. You can start listening to audiobooks. I use Audible. There's a whole bunch of good stuff on there. There are other Duolingo, if you new language, because it seems like a good time. So Duolingo is a great app, and you can start from pretty much the very beginning to learn a new language, or you can jump back in. You just have to pass a quick little test. It's a free app. You can learn anything from Hebrew, Arabic, Spanish, French, German. I don't know what else. There's a whole lot of other stuff on there, though.
Nice.
Sehr schön. Das ist sehr gut.
I feel like George thought we took his instructions literally because he always asks for that every time he enters the stream late.
Minutes, man. We were. Yeah.
I figured it was a good time to quickly
Yeah, I
go
think
over
we're
everything in
wrapping
case you have to go.
here.
I feel like
Just
I
got
was
another
talking-
email from FedEx, but I don't know what it's about.
Getting a CGC shipment in?
No, just about how they're reacting. You know, you're getting like a bazillion of these emails a day from every
Oh, yeah.
company in the universe
Yeah,
Here's
we were just
what we're
talking about
doing
CGCS earlier.
to protect
Oh.
you.
That reminds me. So the internet thing you were talking about, John, earlier, having to deal with the overflow of people trying to access the internet at once.
Right.
I actually saw today that Verizon was granted by the FCC a wider, I'm going to kind of paraphrase this, a wider spectrum of the EMF, a wider band of the EM spectrum in order to basically broaden out what types of signals they can send and receive, so they can kind of change some stuff around, allow more people at once.
If anybody replays this later, Los and I did 3 of the same expressions identically. First, we both, and then we both. And then,
I was trying not to laugh while I was watching that.
copy me, or if it's just natural. Both of us did a, and then we did a head tilt, like,
Almost everything.
and then we did a nod together. Oh.
So wow, that's pretty good.
Play it. This half of the screen, it was identical. Copy's like, I'm not playing. Bitches. Screen was like, yeah, let's just do it. Did we even tilt? Just happened.
Looks like my dogs when I'm trying to mess with them.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I've got one dog that's blind, and so whenever you start talking to him, he starts doing that head tilt thing, looking confused.
I used to know what that sounded like.
All right, let's see. Is there anything else? I think that, well, I covered the rest of the stuff on my list of my ideas. And, Erunk, I know you were joking about the recap thing, but the other thing that we hit on was ESPN 8, The Ocho, man, on this Sunday, starting at midnight. So that's right after 11:59 p.m. Saturday, the 21st, not later on Sunday for anyone that is still confused by that. I know I've run into a lot of people who are. Just saying. Starting,
I don't think we
midnight,
covered
March 22nd.
Delight, but I figured that was kind of a basic on that one.
I think that's on everyone's minds. People are already brainstorming the group of children that will be born in September. Coronials is the name I've heard of.
The Corona generation.
The Corona generation.
Oh man, poor children. Yeah, ESPN at the Ocho, Marble Olympics, cherry pit spitting, axe throwing, all kinds of good stuff.
That's awesome.
Technically, it'll be on ESPN too for anyone who will be looking for an 8th channel.
Nice.
All right, I'm done talking.
Yeah, with no real
and
sports
loud.
going on. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, pretty much. It's been at least we've got free agency going for the NFL, even though that might get slowed down soon. Whew. All right. So start with you, Kavi, just in case you have to get going first. Is there anything you want to talk about coming up for your channel?
Yeah, I got the next episode of Gotham City Chronicles on Monday night, 10 o'clock Eastern time on my channel. Me, JP, as usual, but our guests are going to be Soldier and Fuchsia. And we are reading Gotham by Gaslight. So that's going to be... We're reading between now and then and covering Gotham by Gaslight on the show and what happened to Lois. I don't know what the hell's going on. But yeah, that's really the only thing I have to plug. I'm working on a few other guests for the original Art Hour show and trying to nail down some times to do more episodes of that. But I might have some other random things, but that's the only thing I know I have a set day and time for. So,
nice.
Yep.
For anybody who has not seen the original Art Hour, yep, said that right. It is fantastic. Kavi's got all kinds of crazy stuff that he brings out, and even the frames alone are beautiful. I'm hoping we can get Los back in here before
Thank you, appreciate
down, that. But I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Did he get knocked off the internet, or
He might have lost his feed. Yeah, you never know.
Possible. I'll send him a message while we're still talking. John, what do you got coming up?
My main thing is tomorrow night. I'm pimping for votes. I'm on the hunt tomorrow night. In the first round, what they call the cover championship. I'm playing for my three-peat, my Kobe Bryant, if you will. Getting my three-peat on. So I've won 2 in a row. This week is green covers. So we share 5 books, and the 5th one's a green cover. The other 4, best of 5 wins. I got to go against Drew Manchu, baby. So I need your votes in the chat. If you come by the Tony Sanders show tomorrow night and vote for me, if you're going to vote for Drew Manchu, you don't need to come. You can skip it. You can do something else. But if you're going to vote for me, I also had
books I'm rooting for.
I will say 3 of the 5 books will probably be books I bought from this gentleman right here, the backseat driver himself. So be ready. My green cover came from him, so just be ready for that.
Oh, that's a good one.
It is the perfect green cover.
Last week with an AOK book he got from me last week. So
I did. I won because of you last week. I'm going to win because of him this week.
Let's keep the streak going. All right, unless you got anything coming up. Uh-oh.
Is Los frozen now?
He froze up again. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I can't keep the pose for more than like 5 seconds.
Man. All right. Well, I'll talk about what little I'm planning on doing this coming week. I guess I'm gonna try and get another comic debrief up on Thursday. It's gonna be another indie comic. John, I know you love this book. Not gonna say what it is right now. You'll see it though.
Awesome.
If you haven't seen any others, go ahead and check them out on my channel. All these guys' channels links are in the description below. If you have enjoyed your time here, please give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe to all these guys. Oh, Los is back.
I think I'm back.
Hey, he's alive. Purgatory Paul.
Yeah, you watch Frozen too many times.
Seriously. It killed my internet.
So, Los, do you have anything coming up? Anything you want to talk
about? Honestly, not really. I mean, I don't have anything coming on the channel. I've been jumping on a few live streams and stuff like that, but nothing too much. I might do a few some contest entries coming up here, but nothing else. I do have hopefully sometime next month, maybe an unboxing, and that unboxing, most of those books are actually going to be for sale. So it'll be an unboxing and sale, I guess.
Nice.
I don't know if it's going to be an auction, but these books will be available. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And these are the first books that I actually cleaned and pressed myself. So
nice.
Cool.
We'll see how good it came out or not. So if they come back with all green labels and they're like, yeah, something's wrong with these books, like, oh crap.
Well, we might have to get together again. I've got 12 books that are at CGC right now myself, and 8 of them are going to be for sale at some point, at least. I don't know when yet, but they are currently in received status. So hopefully,
yep. That's how mine are. Yeah, that's how mine are. They're received. They charge me, but they're just sitting there. It's like, thanks guys.
So real quick, everybody in the chat, thank you for coming, sticking around. I just want to quickly shout out a couple of other channels. Burke Family 54 Comics was live during this. I didn't know that his time slot was going to be matching up with mine. I would have moved it around, but
it's fine. There's plenty of internet for everybody.
If you want to go check out his stuff, go check out Burke Family 54 Comics. He is having a 700, 800 subscriber giveaway contest as well. He's a lead. He might have broken 700 now. Let's see. We've got Comic Mag Musings is doing a 200 subscriber giveaway contest, and we have there are 1 or 2 others. Blanking.
Yeah, the Comic Core is going on right now. So there's lots of good stuff going on.
Comic Core is on right now.
You picked the best one, obviously.
Clearly. But if you guys are bored and you are not going to bed yet, go check out some of those other live streams.
Hey, John, I got a book here that I think you might be interested in. Well, it's not for sale. You already have it. Because this is my copy.
I know you want the book, but suck it, bitch.
This is my copy. But yeah, I mean, I haven't unboxed it yet, so I'm like, yeah, this is a good time for it. This is actually one of the my wish list books for this year.
Oh, baby.
So I got to cross off another one. So let's crack this bad boy open. If I can get it out of the damn packaging.
You got your Reggie Collects blade there?
Yeah. All right, come on.
I'll pass it over to you. Get the Reggie Collects blade.
All right, let's get this out of here. At least they put it in a top loader, which is nice.
Nice.
And I won this actually auction style, and didn't think I was gonna get it. You know, I thought there would be a lot more bids, and there was literally only 4 bids. So I was like, I'll take that. Way lower than what I was anticipating to spend. So again, that's always a plus when you get those wish list books for way cheaper. And it looks like they threw in a extra book as well, which is pretty cool. Nice little Miss Marvel number 3.
Ooh, nice.
Cool.
Yeah, and that's just a throw-in book. I wasn't expecting that. I was like,
looks like a clean copy too.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, it has a few spine ticks and stuff, but I mean, it again, for a free book, sure, why not?
Yeah.
And then it was actually a 2-book deal. You get 2 books in this, and so the first one was this. It's nice, Avenging Spider-Man, and number 1 blank.
I think I know where you're going with this.
So I'm like, this will be a nice. I don't have a sketch. I don't have any sketches.
You get somebody nice like a Dodson to do something sick on there.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. So this is definitely a good book that was in there, but the creme de la creme was
boom. There it is.
Nice.
Yeah,
beautiful.
That's the one.
You gonna clean that and press that yourself?
I am.
Nice.
There's not like I said, there's a few ticks on here, but they're not color breaking. I'm pretty sure they'll press out nice. But it's a pretty nice copy, and
I think that's a book that's due for another big spike too.
Oh yeah.
Especially
and the price that I paid for this thing, I mean, it was under $70 for this.
Nice.
So I'm like, I will take it.
I was super pumped that mine came back 9.8 on that book. Like because I had bought it and issue 10, and then I had held them for a while, and then I sold issue 10 in a tiny little lot that paid for both books. Nice. So then I was only out pressing, cleaning, and slabbing costs on that book. So now I'm just like waiting for that book to just get batshit crazy again and be like, here, release it to the wild.
Yeah, and like I said, and yours with the custom label on the top is very nice.
I think it's an underrated custom label for that book especially.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I think
anybody who wants that 9.8 is gonna want that.
It only fits with this book. If you get that label, it's like this book is like perfect for it.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Again, it was one of my wish list books, and like I said, I mean,
congrats, man.
Didn't want to get it. Thank you. I didn't want to get it at the 100, 150 or whatever craziness it was going for. I waited, and got it for the price that I wanted, and actually under what I was willing to pay for it. So I'm like,
and I would say Javi was right at the beginning of the show when he said it's a buyer's market.
It's a buyer's market.
That's a book that's been going down. If you really want that, if that's that grail for you, now is a great time to buy that book.
Oh yeah. I think right now the price point on this book, most of them are selling for, is roughly around like that $65 to like $70 range. You can get a nice near mint copy, which it was going for like $125 before. So
yeah, I mean, the 9.8s were like $500.
It was ridiculous.
Stupid crazy.
Ridiculous.
I'm hopeful it gets back to stupid crazy again.
Honestly, it will around the time the Captain Marvel 2 movie ever comes out. Maybe if
it will
push that movie back by 2 years.
It definitely will. It definitely will. I mean, Captain Marvel was slated for 9 movie appearances or something like that. So she's supposed to be a mainstay, and definitely going to be one of the new Avengers. So it's definitely a book that only has potential. So,
welcome, Burke Family 54 Comics.
Bert,
Yeah,
what's going on,
man,
Steve?
I'm honestly thinking that might be the book with the best timing to buy right now. One of the books with the best timing to buy right now, because once all this craziness clears up, I feel like that movie is slotted for the right time to explode when people are finally able to go out and do stuff. I think it's next year at some point.
Yeah.
People will have gotten back, like the economy will have started coming back and everything. Los Burke wants you to show that book again, bro. Make it big.
This guy right there. Yeah. Another wish list book crossed off. So
Gorgeous.
I mean, I've been crossing off most of my the modern books on my wish list. The more Silver Age books are obviously a little tougher, and of course the ones that are on my list are the ones that are still spiking. So it is what it is. You wait and you buy your time, just like JP says. The book will come around. There's plenty of books to go around. That's it. That's the one.
I dug it out. Yeah, you got that great.
Yeah.
There's that.
Oh.
There's the Captain Marvel logo.
It's like perfect for that book. Oh,
perfect. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Nothing.
I just love the idea that it's like Spider-Man's riding on her.
He is. He's like...
hilarious. I love it.
That's awesome.
Maybe that was the inspiration for that little scene or sequence of scenes between the two of them in Endgame and that last battle sequence.
It could have been. Yeah, that's
I
right.
think it could have been.
I would love that to be a moment in one of the future Avengers movies.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
I'm not sure what Burke Family is asking about.
Issue 9.
9.
Hey,
Yeah.
if we're gonna keep going for a while, I might have to bounce.
Okay, no worries, man.
I gotta get to work, but if we're gonna wrap up, I'll stick around. Just let me know.
I was thinking of showing some books that I got, but I could also try and do a live stream.
Yeah, because I got to eat dinner here too.
Yeah, I gotta. Oh yeah, you haven't eaten? Yeah.
Nah,
3 hours. I always forget about that. 3 hours.
I know they always forget about us too.
That's true.
11 p.m. Eastern. Ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly.
You watched New Comic Book Day book club last night. Alec was like,
"Oh yeah, I was there." It was,
well, he's always yawning for every book anyway. So.
Oh really? The whatever weird obscure book you guys picked last night that I had no interest in whatsoever.
Oh my god, it's hilarious.
They're basically talking about moths that were teenagers.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's fair. That's fair.
Although now thinking about it, I feel like it was maybe it's an allusion to just what they think of teenagers in our society today. They're just distracted by the shiny, bright objects.
Pretty much.
Bunch of boomers writing the comic.
Talking about me again?
I don't even know if you count as a boomer, John.
No, I'm not even close. My dad's
more like greatest generation.
It is literally impossible. It's a generation.
It's like what? It's
entertaining, I guess.
I'm in the same class as John. Everybody keeps talking about. I'm in the same one.
But he laughs because he's like, I'm not in that group.
All right, yeah, we can, we can wrap it up. I'll show off my books maybe on Sunday or something. No one live streams on Sunday morning. Everyone's at, I don't know, church or something. So I'll just
not this week.
Not this weekend.
Perfect. I'll stream. Well, you guys will be asleep on the West Coast.
Church of Comics.
That's it.
All right. So thank you everybody for stopping by again. Go check out Burke Family 54 Comics doing his 700 and 800 subscriber contest, and Comic Mag Musing is doing his 200 subscriber contest. Tomorrow we've got JB on Discovery Bay Comics doing another pop-up shop, and I believe the first 11 rounds are paid for again. I think they're trying to get to maybe 500 comics total. At least, I don't know. Maybe the streak will keep going. We'll see.
Burke is only eight subs away from 700.
Oh, come on.
So if you need to throw a sub somebody's way, there's Burke in the chat.
That's right.
There are 8 people in here. I know 5 people are already subscribed, and 4 are already subscribed. One is him. If the other 3 of you are not subscribed, go get them a little bit closer. And on that note, you guys have a good one. Thanks for coming.